Hey everybody, it's me, Cool Nugget, the best Super Smash Bros. Player in the world, and today I'm going to be making a tier list out of every single character in the entire game. This tier list is 100% fact and indisputable. First, we're going to start off with Bayonetta. Now, Bayonetta was famously really good in Smash 4, but they kind of nerfed her in Ultimate. But I'm still going to say that she's pretty good. I'm going to put Bayonetta in B tier. Next up, we have Bowser. Now, Bowser, the thing about Bowser is he is really cool. He's big, and he has very strong attacks. We're gonna put Bowser in B tier, right along with Bayonetta. B. Bowser Jr. Now, Bowser Jr. is Bowser, but worse. So where does he go? G tier. Captain Falcon. He is like Ganondorf, but he's the same thing. And he has Falcon Punch, which is the best move in the game. So he's gonna go into S tier. Next up, we have Charizard. Now, Charizard was his own character in Smash 4, which is why he is also going in the B tier. Krom. Now, Krom, you see, he was always wanted in Smash, so they made him an Echo Fighter for Roy. So naturally, we're gonna have to put him in the same tier as Roy, which is E tier. Cloud was DLC in Smash 4, similar to Bayonetta, which is why he is also going in the B tier. Next up, we have Corrin, and what letter does Corrin start with? F. Next up, we have Daisy. Now, Daisy is the same as Peach, and actually, there was originally a minor change with her turn-ups where they would be different from Peach, like in Smash 4, so that's why she is also going in the B tier. Dark Pit was also in Smash 4. Dark Samus is like Dark Pit. Diddy Kong is like Donkey Kong but worse, so he's gonna go in the E tier with Krom. Donkey Kong is like Diddy Kong, so he's gonna go in the E tier. Dr. Mario is like Mario but better because his attacks are stronger, so we're gonna have to put him in the A tier. Now, Duck Hunt is really old. Do you know who else is old? Bowser Jr., so he's gonna go in the G tier. Now, Falco. Falco is really good because he can jump really high. You know who else can jump really high? Dr. Mario, A tier. Fox is like Falco, so we're gonna put him in the A tier. Ganondorf has the best moves in the game. His forward smash, his up smash, his neutral B, his up tilt, they're all the best moves in the game. I'm gonna have to put him in S tier with Captain Falcon. Greninja isn't a character. Ice Climbers aren't a character. Ike was in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and you know what letter Brawl starts with? B. Incineroar was a newcomer in Smash, and he's the first one that we have here that's a newcomer to Ultimate. And you know what they say? Old is new, so that's why he's going in G tier. Inkling is pretty good. Inkling is pretty good. At the start of Ultimate, actually, she was a lot better than people conceive her to be now. You know who else was really good before? Bayonetta. That's why he's also going in the B tier. Isabelle is like Villager, except better. So that's why she is going in the D tier. D stands for Villager. Ivysaur is like Charizard, except worse, which is why he's going in the G tier. Jigglypuff is another Pokemon, which is why she's going in the G tier. Now, Terry right here, Terry Bogard, he's a newcomer to Ultimate within the DLC pack, and I think Terry is actually pretty good. I'm gonna have to put Terry in S tier. King Dedede. Now, you see, I don't normally like heavyweights, but, King Dedede is pretty cool. He's from the Kirby series. And you know who else is from the Kirby series? Kirby, right there. So we're gonna put him in the G tier. King K Rool. Now, K Rool is another newcomer, and he's pretty similar to Corrin, so we're gonna put him in the F tier. Jigglypuff, right over here, is another Pokemon, and I think there's enough Pokemon in the game, and that's why she's going in S tier. Now we have Zelda right here. Zelda is from the famous video game Super Mario Bros., and I think that she fits pretty well into C tier, kind of like mid tier. Little Mac is also the best character in the game. His normals are all fantastic. He has the best smash attacks in the game. His up B, he has some insane combos off of his up air. He's just the whole package. Now, Lucario, the cool thing about him is he actually has to be damaged to be good. So, you know who does a lot of damage? Ganondorf. That's why he's going in the S tier. Lucas is like Ness, except slightly less annoying, which is why he's going above Ness, which is in G tier. Lucina is like Marth, except worse, which is why she is also going in the G tier. Now, Luigi, the cool thing about Luigi is they actually gave him a new tether grab in Ultimate, and it can attach to the ledge. And the cool thing about tether grabs that attach to the ledge is that they're all garbage, which is why he's going in F tier. Now, you gotta pay homage to Mario, the original video game icon. Too bad he sucks. Now we have Krom. Krom is pretty good. I think he's pretty hard to play just because you can't tell him apart, so he's going in E tier. Mega Man right here, he's a classic. You know, he's from the classic game Mega Man 56, The Return of Zygor, so he's gonna go into A tier. Meta Knight is another Kirby character who I think really deserves a high spot because of how good he was in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You know who else was good in Super Smash Bros. Brawl? Bayonetta, that's why he's going in B tier. Mewtwo is another Pokemon, which I think is kind of boring, so he's gonna go into A tier. Mii Brawler, I've run out of jokes. Mii Gunner. Now, Mii Gunner is known for being the skin that has Sans, and Sans is from the world-famous game Earthbound. You know who else is from Earthbound? Cloud Strife, which is why Mii Gunner is going in B tier. Mii Sword Fighter can actually have diamond armor, just like from this popular children's game Five Nights at Freddy's, which is why he's going in F tier for Five Nights at Freddy's. Mr. Game & Watch is from the popular game Mr. Game & Watch, which is why he's going in the Mr. Game & Watch tier. Ness is another character from Earthbound, just like Jigglypuff, which is why he's going right beside her in G tier. Now, Olimar is known from the famous game Pikmin, and I think he's a little bit worse than Alf, so I think we're gonna have to put him below Alf in D tier. Now, Pac-Man, he's a video game icon. Video games would not be where they are today without Pac-Man, but for some reason he looks like Jigglypuff, so we're gonna put him in G tier. Now, Palutena, I don't know who this is, I don't know what game they're from, I don't think they're from a game, which is why you're going in A tier. Now, Princess Peach, she is the original damsel in distress, which is why she sucks, F tier. Pichu, now Pichu is kind of similar to Pikachu, except he does self-harm with every attack, which makes him obviously worse, which is why he's going in G tier. Pikachu is like Pichu, but better, which is why he's going in F tier. Now, Piranha Plant. Now, this is what you call a good Smash Bros. Character. Piranha Plant is like what every character should be. He's fun, he's accurate, and he is well represented, which is why he is going in S tier. Pit is similar to Dark Pit as they are both from the video game The Bible, so they're both going to go into B tier. Pokemon Trainer. Now, Pokemon Trainer is very similar to Marth, so he's also going to go into E tier. Now, we have Richter. Richter is from the video game Castlevania, and I really like Castlevania. I think it's a fun game, it has great mechanics, it has great characters, the Netflix series is cool, so I think Richter deserves his spot in A tier. Next up, we have Ridley. Now, Ridley is from the game Metroid, where you play as Metroid and you destroy the Metroid. So Ridley is going to go in the F tier for Metroid. Now, Rob is from the famous video game Robot. Robot is actually a pretty fun game. I really like most of the characters in it, which is why Rob is going to go into C tier with Zelda. Next up, we have Cloud again. This is the female version of Cloud, actually, so that's why the female version is better than the male version, obviously. So he's gonna go into, or she's gonna go into A tier. Next up, we have Rosalina. Rosalina's kind of boring without Luma, so G tier. Next up, we have Roy. Now, Roy is pretty cool, actually. I really like how they have him as a Koopa Kid and as a sword fighter. So, for that reason, he's going to go into D tier with Isabelle and Olimar. Next up, we have the guy from Fortnite. Now, it's really cool that they had a Fortnite rep in Smash, which is why I think we're going to have to put him in S tier. Next, we have Meteoroid from the video game Metroid, where you destroy the Metroid and then you kill the Metroid. Now, Metroid, I think, is going to have to go into B tier, along with the other Metroid characters, Bayonetta. Sheik. Now, Sheik is actually a mysterious character, because they're from the video game series The Legend of Zelda, but no one knows who he is. And since nobody knows who he is, he's similar to Corrin, so he's going in F tier. Next up, we have Shulk from the famous game Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles is actually a really fun RPG. You know what else is a fun RPG? Robot, which is why he's going into C tier. Simon is the exact same as Richter, which is why we're gonna put him in A tier with Richter. Snake is the same as Simon and Richter, which is why we're putting him in the A tier with Simon and Richter. Sonic. Sonic has been an extremely requested character ever since Melee, and they actually ended up adding him to Brawl with a fun and inspired moveset that feels right at home in the Smash Bros. Series, which is why Sonic is going into the S tier for Sonic. Squirtle. So Squirrel is actually pretty cool. I think Squirrel, he has a really good combo game, so Squirrel's gonna go into A tier. Next up, we have Cartoon Link, which, you know, he's kind of the same as Zelda. He's similar to Zelda, but like not the exact same. So I think he is going to go into the same tier as Zelda. Next up, we have Villager. Now, Villager, like I said, is like Isabelle, but worse, which is why Villager is going into the C tier above Isabelle. Wii Fit Trainer. Now, Wii Fit Trainer is from the famous game Wii Fit, which is why she is going in the G tier for W. Wolf also starts with W. Now, Yoshi. Yoshi is a classic character with another inspired and fun moveset that calls from all of his different appearances in the Mario games. He is one of my favorite characters to play as and against, which is why he has to go in S tier. Next up, we have Link. Link is actually the protagonist of The Legend of Zelda, which is why I think he has to go into S tier. Next up, we have Princess Peach, but in the original Mario Bros. Now, in the original Mario Bros, Princess Peach wasn't really that special, so I think we're gonna have to go with E tier for this one. Next up, we have Princess Peach in Mario Bros 2. Now, once again, not really inspired, so I think we're gonna have to put her in F tier. Next up, we have the Ice Climbers. We have Poo and Nana. So we're gonna have to put, I think I'm gonna have to put Nana above Poo. Next up, we have Wario. Wario is like Mario, except better. So that means we're gonna have to put him right beside Mario over there. Next, we have Joker. Now, I really like Persona 5, and I think Joker's moveset is super inspired and has a ton of character and light in it. It's just so fun to play as, which is why it sucks that we have to put him in the G tier. Now, Hero is also really fun. Hero is a super interesting character. He has all these different spells. He has so much time put into him, but he's a bit too random for my taste, which is why he's going in G tier. Banjo and Kazooie. Now, Banjo and Kazooie are like they're really fun. They're my favorite. They're my childhood, man. Banjo and Kazooie. They have the most fun and interesting moveset, which is why I think I'm gonna have to put them in S tier. Donkey Kong is a little bit less than Banjo Kazooie. He's a little bit more boring. I think he's a little bit less fun, so he's gonna go into B tier. Next up, we have Ken. Ken is very similar to Ryu. He was DLC in Smash 4, which is why he's going into S tier. Next up, we have Marth. Marth actually has this cool thing with his sword where if you get the tip of the sword, it does more damage, but that's really hard to hit, so I think I'm gonna have to put Marth in F tier. Next up, we have Min Min from the video game ARMS. ARMS is not a video game, so Min Min's going in G tier. Next up, we have Steven from the popular children's game Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's really cool that they added Steven, because he represents a game that just previously had nothing on a Nintendo console, so he's gonna have to go into B tier. Next up, we have Sephiroth. Sephiroth is actually the villain in Persona 5, which is why I think he's gonna have to go into G tier with Joker. Next, we have Pyra and Mithra from the popular game Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, Pyra and Mithra are actually, they were characters that had a lot of controversy, because a lot of people don't like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But I think they're pretty cool, so I'm gonna have to put them in D tier. Next up, we have Princess Peach from Mario Bros 3. I think it's a little bit too much Princess Peach, if I'm being honest. I think I'm gonna have to put this Princess Peach in G tier. Finally, we have our last character, Female Roy. Now, Female Roy was actually introduced before Roy, all the way back in Melee. And she was playable in Melee, and she was one of the best characters. She was a top tier in Melee. So I think we're gonna have to put her in S tier. So anyways, this is the Ultimate Smash Bros. Tier list. It's undisputable, frankly. And I think I gave pretty good reasoning for why I put all the characters in the spots I did. So, if you agree with me, let me know down below. If you don't, get off my channel.